Hello aspirants, myself I'm Jishnu Krishna, faculty at iLearn IAS Academy. So today I'm coming with a new innovative idea, that is, it's a simple idea, okay, I can say like that, it is a simple idea. So the idea is to teach you a basic concept of sociology. And why I am teaching you basic concept of idea of sociology is because the major purpose of this class is to give a detailed understanding about sociological concepts. Okay, this is not a one class, this is a series of class. So in this series of class, you will get a lot of basic concepts which are very important for civil service preparation. Okay, right. So in this class, I will mention how to approach a concept. Okay, and more than that, I will give you how to use a concept in a particular where you can use a concept. Okay, so these are the things which I am going to give you in this class. Okay, so I have already mentioned that this is a series of class, so you will get a lot of basic concepts regarding with sociology. Okay, so let's start with the first concept. The first concept is one of the most important concept in Indian society, right? So do you want to know about it? Come with me. This is your first concept, Sanskritization. I believe a lot of people who may know about Sanskritization, but those who are very new to this field, they may not be, right? But don't worry, this class is for you all, right? In this class, I won't be just discuss what does it mean Sanskritization. I will go in detailed manner. What does it mean detailed manner? It's very simple, right? It's very simple. So I will give you a brief understanding about Sanskritization. Then I will move on to the origin of Sanskritization. Then I will move to the features of Sanskritization. Then we will discuss the mode of Sanskritization. And finally, is there any criticism for Sanskritization? So these are the things which we are going to learn in today's class. So shall we start? Right. So the concept is called Sanskritization. Sanskritization is simply, I can say, is that this is a social mobility process. You might have confusing what does it mean social mobility process. I will explain it. Don't worry, I will explain it. Okay. So simply you can say is that this is a form of social mobility process which is done by lower caste people. How they are imitating the values, culture, norms of upper caste people. This is called Sanskritization, and this is a simple definition of Sanskritization. So let us understand in a detailed manner, right? So you have to understand who developed these concepts. This concept is developed by M.N. Srinivasan, right? He is one of the famous Indian sociologists, and as well as he is one of the famous anthropologists. So this is the person who has developed this concept. So why he developed this concept? Right, we have to understood, right? So the history of Sanskritization or the origin of Sanskritization. See, he was conducting a study in Coorg. Okay, so what was happened that this M.N. Srinivasan discovered a new process in this particular society, Coorg. Okay, remember the name Coorg society. Okay, so he has Coorg of South India. So he has developed, he discovered a new practices. That the practice is very simple. A lot of people says that caste is an endogamous, what we call not a closed group, which means that class will not or should not provide mobility. But what happened in this Coorg is that totally different. Lower caste people are getting status. Why? Because he realized that these lower caste people are committing or doing something different from others. What was it? Then he realized that he got the answer. Because lower caste people, they are practicing the rituals of Brahmins. Through that way, they are changing their social status. Are you getting my point? Right? So lower caste people, they are changing their way of life, customs, practices. Okay. They are imitating Brahmins. So slowly they are getting attentions or respect in the society. So initial stage, what M.N. Srinivasan does is that he called this process as Brahminization. Later in his study, he has realized that this is not only a process. Lower caste people are not only imitating the Brahmin, but also they are imitating Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, right? Or twice born caste. So he has changed the name into Brahminization into Sanskritization. So the initial name was Brahminization. Later he changed the name to Sanskritization. So now I hope you understood the origin of these concepts. So let's decipher the definition of this word. Okay. So do you want to know the basic definition of or the permanent definition of Sanskritization? Yes, I know you want. So this is the basic definition. Right. Let's read together. Sanskritization is a process by which a lower caste or tribe or any group change its customs, rituals, ideology and the way of life in direction of higher or more often a twice born caste. Yes, twice born caste. Right. So this is the exact form of definition. You have to read it very carefully because there are two words which are confusing. One, lower caste and or tribe, right? And the next one is twice born caste, right? I will explain it. Okay, right. So this is the brief or this is the ideal definition of Sanskritization, right? I will explain this definition. Okay, before that I need to explain the main features of Sanskritization, right? So the features of Sanskritization, I have already told you that the lower caste people, they are not only trying to imitate Brahmins, but also trying to imitate Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Okay, so that's the first and foremost feature, right? So that's why we have used a word called twice born caste. And what does it mean? If you doesn't have any background in sociology, you might have thinking about what does it mean twice born caste, right? Don't worry, I will explain it. Okay, right. So this is India's caste hierarchy, right? If you don't know, just listen that this is India's caste hierarchy. This is how Indian social structure has built it, which means that the first group, respectable group, is that Brahmins. Second is called Kshatriya. Third is called as Vaishyas, and the last one is called as Shudra. There is one more group, it is called as outcast groups or untouchable groups. Is it clear? Is it clear? Right. So this Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, these people are called as twice born caste. Which means that the theory says that, the caste theory says that these people has two birth. Okay, but when it comes to Shudras and untouchables, they have only single birth, right? So that's why here this definition says that this lower caste people, they are trying to change their lives, values, norms, way of life into Brahmanic, Vaishya, Kshatriya lives, right? So this is the, I hope you understood what does it mean twice born caste. Okay, so apart from this, there is another point. It helps in socio-economic and cultural values transmission in several group of society. And why people are committing, why people are following this Sanskritization? It's very simple, because lower caste people wants to get higher position, or their lower caste people wants to change their social status. That's why these people are doing these things. Okay, is that clear? And the third one is that this is not only followed by, or this is not only the phenomena which is followed by, which is practicing by lower caste people. Tribals are also committing, or tribals are also doing Sanskritization, right? So these are the major features of Sanskritization. So next point is that models of Sanskritization. Right, there are three models of Sanskritization. The first one is called as Varna model, and the second one is called as cultural model, and the last one is called as local model. So you have confusions, what does it mean? Okay, don't worry, I'm here, I will explain it. Okay, the first one, Varna model. So Varna model, which means that I will explain it. Okay, so I have already told you that this is the structure of Indian society. This is the structure of Indian social system, or else we can say is that this is the structure of caste, right? So I have already written Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So the Varna model of Sanskritization, which is simple, Why it's simple? Because I will explain it. Okay, right. Each caste, which means Kshatriya model of Kshatriya people, they are trying to follow the Brahmanic culture, and Vaishyas are following Kshatriya's culture, Shudras are following, right, any other twice born caste structure, and this last fifth Varna group, they are following Shudra's lifestyle. So this is called Varna model of Sanskritization. Okay, is it clear? Right? So first, this is Brahmanization. You can call Brahmanization or Kshatriyization or Vaisyasation, or even you can call it as Shudrazation. Okay, there are a lot of thinkers who called this Brahmanization, Kshatriyization, Vaisyasation. Okay, so these are Varna model of Sanskritization. Is it clear? And what does it mean, cultural mode of Sanskritization? It is very simple, right? It is very, very simple, right? These people have different culture, which means Brahmins has different kind of culture, right? Upanayana is one of the form of culture, right? Which means sacred thread ceremony, right? The Shudras or other community people, they are following, or we can say it's Shudras, okay? Shudras are following this Upanayana form of culture, and that is called as cultural form of or cultural model of Sanskritization. Or else you can call it as, take another example. These guys are vegetarians, right? Brahmins are vegetarians. So this vegetarianism is following Shudras. Shudras are mostly, I can't say that Shudras are non-vegetarians, but mostly Shudras are non-vegetarians. So for getting social status, they are changing their lifestyles. What they are doing is that they are following vegetarianism. This is also called as cultural mode of Sanskritization. And one more model Sanskritization is there. What does it mean? It's very simple, right? It is local Sanskritization. This subject is interesting, which means that we know that Brahmins are the most important, or what we call the top of the position. They are celebrating the top of the positions. Okay, but in certain societies, there may not be, you can't see Brahmins. Okay, right? In certain societies, Kshatriyas might be, or Vaishyas. Okay, Vaishyas might be dominating the structure, which means these castes are called as dominant caste. Right? So dominant caste. So lower caste people, Shudras or untouchable people, they are following the lifestyle of dominant caste people. That is called as local Sanskritization. Is it clear? I hope it is clear. Okay, so we'll repeat it once again. We have three model of Sanskritizations. The first one is called as Varna model of Sanskritization, which means different Varnas are trying to get social mobility. That is called as Varna model of Sanskritization. When it comes to cultural mode of Sanskritization, lower caste people are practicing the culture of upper caste people, and the last one, but not the least one, that is local Sanskritization, which means that lower caste people, they are trying to follow the dominant caste people's rituals, values, and things. Okay, so this is what we call local Sanskritization. So we have one more concept, which means that we have one more area. Is there any criticism for Sanskritization? Criticism of Sanskritization, right? So there are three criticisms, right? I will explain it one by one. I will explain it. The first one, Sanskritization may lead to inter-class, not inter-class, I am extremely sorry for that. This is inter-caste hostility or intra-caste hostility. Okay, it can create a intra-caste or inter-caste conflict, hostility, right? Hostility, which means that between or within the caste, there might be a conflict. Okay, that's why that is a first criticism. Second is that Sanskritization is limited concept. Sanskritization is limited concept, which means that there are a lot of people, there are a lot of groups are not following this Sanskritization. Okay, very few groups are following Sanskritization, right? And the last one, Sanskritization is sometimes a protest against the normative structure. What does it mean? It is very simple, because it is considered that it is considered as a movement towards the dominance of upper caste people, right, or upper caste hegemony, right? So these are the major criticisms of Sanskritization. I will look at once again. So first one is Sanskritization may lead to interclass hostility, which means there will be a conflict between caste itself. Okay, right. For example, Kshatriyas people, Shudras people may create conflict between Shudras, right? Or else, when these people trying to follow the Brahmins values or Kshatriyas values, upper caste people and lower caste people may come and create a conflict or antagonism. Okay, or what we call a clash might be happen. And the next one, Sanskritization is a limited concept, right? So this is not a broad concept. This is a limited concept, which means that there are not a lot of people are not following this Sanskritization. Okay, the last one, Sanskritization sometimes is a protest against normative structure. So these are the major criticisms against Sanskritization, right? So let me conclude the session. Before that, you need to understand one thing where you can apply this concept, right? So you can use this concept in paper 1 and paper 2, right? Where you can use it? See, you can use this concept in the paper 1, social stratification and mobility, right? And then you can use in the second paper. There is a module called caste system. So there you can use, okay, and as well as you can use M.N. Srinivasan's structural functionalism. Okay, that module also you can use this concept, right? So I am going to conclude the session. So I will give you a brief recap. Okay, it is very simple. Sanskritization is the social mobility process, okay, which is done by lower caste people. How they are doing this? It's very simple. Lower caste people, they are trying to imitate the cultural values, norms of upper caste people, right? In the initial stage, it was called as Brahmanization, and this concept, which is developed by M.N. Srinivasan, right? Then we have discussed the features. Okay, the features, there are 3 features we have already discussed, and then we move on to 3 type of or mode of Sanskritization: Varna model, and then we move on to cultural model, and we have move on to the last one, that is local model. Local model, which means that dominant caste, following or imitating dominant caste movements. Okay, the dominant caste practices. The last point, that was I have already discussed, already mentioned that in twice times I have already mentioned, that is criticism of Sanskritization. So I hope now you know something about Sanskritization, right? Okay, so this is a series of this is a basic series. So I will come with next topics. So thank you so much for listening me. See you soon. Okay.